You are live. Hi, everybody. This is Michael. I'm just by myself tonight. Damien's busy. We're live here from Colac, and I'm here with the leader of the Smurf Resistance and
Where's that name from?
the Underground Smurf Resistance. And no, but this is Andrew Beale. Andrew Beale set up the Red Rock Regional.
Theatre and Gallery.
Yep.
Yep, out at Colac. Yeah.
And I used to bring play when I had a life. I used to bring plays there. We used to have a great time. And he said to me yesterday, "Well, you're in Colac. Why don't you interview Colac people?" And here we are tonight. So, Andrew, first off, what's Colac being like with COVID from your point of view?
Well, from my point of view, being a dairy farmer, hasn't had a great effect. But being someone that's involved in the community and in the arts, an enormous effect. So we've got a theatre that's been pretty much closed for 2 years. I think Michael's show was the last show, the Magnolia Tree, that was run there over a year ago now. And yeah, it's been very quiet. It's crushed a lot of the arts industry. It's crushed a lot of local industry. It's made people divided the community. It's just giving us all something to sort of go home and chew on and work out how we're going to deal with it as a community. And certainly, just going out and getting vaccinated is a response to a way of fixing it. Ain't how we want to fix it. It's not the way to fix it. I think it's just getting everyone deeper into division and further down a rabbit burrow that they really probably in the end don't want to be down.
So there's not a much thing of pro-choice here. There's a big push and coercion sort of thing to take it.
Look, Colac's always been very conservative and very conservative sort of farming background culture, and there's been he's a big push to take the vaccine, but there's also a lot of people. There's a lot of people who are here tonight down at the gardens that are pro-choice. There's been groups start up in the community that are pro-choice. You've only got to see all the people that still got smiles on their faces. They're all the pro-choice people.
Well, how is the segregation going here though, with not being able to get into stores and stuff?
Most stores do segregate, ask you for your vaccine status. Generally, I refuse to go into those stores. I live my life around it. Hoping one day that'll change and we won't have those those mandates. Maybe businesses will wake up and realise that they're losing business from good customers.
Well, it's they're going to get fined if they get caught, and the code detectives are around. But Sydney has just opened up, so from a business point of view, doesn't it make sense maybe to pack up and head to Sydney?
Well, it would. I'm guessing the small businesses in Colac wouldn't have the ability to do that. But I think I would encourage businesses in Colac to open up to the people that are unvaccinated. Love everyone as one, and just take your community back. It doesn't belong to Daniel Andrews. It belongs to us.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Beale. Who would like to come up next? We have to have someone. Come on. And in case you're wondering, yes, I am sunburnt, and it's Andrew's fault.
And so am I. And it's all Andrew's fault.
Coming closer.
Okay.
Tell us what's your name.
Rowena. Yep.
Now, how have you been handling this last 2 years?
It's been tough, but I'm also a very positive person. So find the goodness in the worst of situations, I think, is positive. Found an amazing tribe. So amazing group of people that are out here to support everyone, be it jabbed or not jabbed. We're really connected.
We used to call that Australians.
Yeah, well, we're still Australians, us on our side of the fence, so that's good. No, I'm a mum, so I've got an 18-year-old daughter and a 7 and a 6-year-old. So the whole lockdown thing, being out in the country wasn't as tough for me because I like my kids being home. Financially, it was hard. But, we missed out on a lot. because some of our family was scared, so we didn't get to see them. Missed out on a lot of our family in Melbourne. That was all an impact. Clearly that impacted everyone.
Is that because of their fear?
Yeah, and my immediate family, we're connected more than ever. We've always been close, but some of our other family members, like aunties and cousins and that, I haven't even heard from them. Like normally we'd be organising Christmas, not even a message to say, oh, where's Christmas this year? Clearly we're out the door. We're not even part of anything anymore. So that hurts. They don't want a thing to do with us anymore at all.
Do you think it's not only fear of the virus, but do you think maybe it's a fear of association with what the media and the government are portraying as bad people, which is those who are pro-choice?
Well, yeah, look, depending on the person, but I love behavioural science and I love psychology. So from this whole time I've been watching and listening to Daniel Andrews speak, I didn't miss an 11 o'clock broadcast or whatever I loved it because I'm picking apart everything he said and knowing exactly what he was doing. And then seeing my family, some of my other family.
Before you go on, what do you think he was doing? Tell us some examples.
Well, the whole, putting the fear of God in someone, and then, you've got to do the right thing, and then you're a bad boy, you're a bad girl, now you're a good, it was all the whole everything, like the whole situation, his whole language, his whole demeanor, everything was based around totally changing a person's mindset into a fear-based. That's all it was. That's all it is, isn't it? Just let's get you scared. Let's make you think that you're doing the right thing while your neighbour's doing the wrong thing. Dobbing your neighbour, dobbing your friends, whatever it might look like.
Well, we had a nurse on last night. Yeah. If you want to watch that show, it's on Rumble because it was too hot for this show. And she said, if you're frightened people can't make rational decisions. Do you feel that's correct?
I would absolutely 100% agree with that. I've never been scared of catching the virus. I'm a very healthy person. It is what it is. If I get sick, you just, hope for the best in everything. Fuck. Hope for the best. I'm not allowed to swear, am I?
Wait on.
Bib, put your goat on.
Where's the goat?
Far out, Brussels sprout.
Hold on. Where's the goat?
Oh no, I get a goat.
No, wrong one. There we go.
Okay.
Waiting. Slow out here. Download. So I'm trying to get close to you. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So I don't know the goat work, but the goat work. Anyway, with the fear.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years now.
Yeah.
Don't you think there would be a time limit of people actually going, you know what? The world hasn't, the COVID hasn't destroyed us. Maybe it's time not to be frightened. Why do you think the fear is still ramping up?
I don't know. I guess it's the next thing that comes at them, the new variant.
Omicron.
Yeah, whatever it looks like. And it's we can see it coming. We know that it's just a mind control game, put that fear of whatever into them.
But this is what I'm saying. At the moment, a lot of psychologists, I've had a lot of people telling me they're psychologists and doctors and other professionals have said, you don't want to be a second-class citizen. Do you think people are more frightened now of becoming seen as a second-class citizen rather than the virus, or are they still scared of the virus? Which way do you think?
Oh, no. There'd be both, but mainly not being cast out of society.
Yeah, that's
100%.
Yeah.
And I just walk around with my confidence. I don't care. I've got my family. I've got my kids. These beautiful people now here.
Well, let's talk about that because the other thing too is that I'm finding that too. Yes, we're being cast out, but the cast out group is warm and inclusive and loving and supportive. So everything that we've been cast out, but we took all the good stuff with us.
We did. Look at us go.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you always want to find your place in the world, if that be being a parent or, you know, being part of a team and playing sport or whatever it might be, and you find your spot in the world for yourself. This is like just part of that for me. I'm just like, well, I'm okay. I don't need to go to Bunnings. I'll go to Lyle Wheels. They let me in the door.
I don't. You just got them closed down. Look, okay,
Well, I don't know,
do
isn't
this.
it?
Say something to all the family members about the beauty of actually being courageous and coming through. And so, what courage offers you and fear offers you, something like that. It's sort of like a Christmas message to to
okay.
anyone. Does
All
that
right.
make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Just
So
like I'll just work it out.
yeah, no, I'll just wing it. No, like I'll wing it. For me, if fear took over for me in anything I do, I'm actually not very reckless at all. You saw me today. I would rather walk up that big hill than up in the ute. And I was like battling the snakes if there were any. But in the scheme of finding that strength within you, finding your community, it's lovely out here. It really is. Like, all of a sudden you think, oh my God, I've got no money to do this, to do that. You know, I've got no, it works itself out. It really does. I'm happier. My husband's happy for the first time in a long time. He's, you know, come out of a dark shed, cloud, whatever he was in, and he's out and about again now. And he's not here tonight because he's babysitting, but he would have been. And it's incredible. He hasn't been like that for years. He's now, you know, like, oh, wow, people are really kind. He hated people. He actually did. And now he's like, no, our people are great. You know, we're nice. We're having a great time. We're finding the light. And whatever that, like, I'm spiritual. I'm not Christian or anything like that. I believe things are meant to be and things will work themselves out, whatever that might be. I'm just strong, I think, for me. So, and I want people to feel strong as well. Yeah.
Are you surprised how strong you are?
No, I'm actually not. I think I've had ups and downs in my life, which has built such a strong person. And my mum's a strong person, and she's someone I look up to.
Okay, well, I tell you what. Just to finish off, we should do that tonight. Look into the camera and wish anyone that's looking, from your family and friends who are ostracizing you, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I hope you have a wonderful time, because I know we will. I will. We're going to have the best Christmas ever.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay, no worries. Okay, let's see if anyone else is brave enough. Do you have anyone else brave enough to come up, or am I going to be sitting here like a nun at an orgy? A nun at an orgy. We need one. Here we go.
Before we start, get up. This is a big free bear hug I said I'd give you, brother. Oh, yeah.
That's what my sunburn really needed. G'day, mate. Sit down. Get you to sit a bit forward.
Yep, all good.
Tell us your name.
My name's Steen.
Steen. Steen.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I'm one in a million. So.
Yeah, cool. Now, are you from Colac for a long time, or are you new to Colac?
I moved down to Colac about 4 years ago from Broadmeadows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I 4 kids of my own. Marriage broke up. Beautiful one down here. I met up with her, come down, and she's.
So you brought up the boys or the kids?
With my ex, yes.
Yeah.
I've got a 21-year-old son, an 18-year-old son, 17-year-old, and an 8-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
So So.
And how's the COVID thing been hitting you personally?
Ooh, wow. Mum and her friends are all for it.
Yeah.
I'm against it, as you probably guess. 2 of my sons have had it. My oldest and my youngest son.
And I have to say, we're not anti-vax. We're pro-choice. We're
Pro-choice,
pro-choice.
Yeah, exactly.
So even though they're for it, has that come at a cost? Like, have they cut you out of their lives?
No.
Oh, that's great.
No, we always catch up. I have them every 2 weeks. I've always have, even through all this pandemic. So, I've had them down every 2 weeks from Melbourne down to Colac. I've been able to do because shared parenting. I was able to go between the two. So, like I said, my oldest son, I've got, my oldest son and my youngest son have had it. My middle son doesn't want it. My fault, he doesn't want it, but that was his choice. And it's just my daughter that I'm really worried about.
Okay.
She's 8.
She's 8.
Yeah. And she's my princess. She's my,
I-
you know,
I know that exactly, buddy. Don't you worry.
yeah, she's my life. And, you know, and I'm trying to get through, but I'm in some hippie cult right now. So,
How about your job?
well, I started working when I was 16
Yeah.
at Coles in Dallas. And I've been working full time for 31 years. I'm 47 now. Come down to Colac, found my, you know, beautiful new woman, new town to live in, found my perfect job because I wouldn't comply on the 15th of October. That was it. And yeah, so.
There was no leeway, nothing, just.
Well, you know, there was negotiations. Oh, you know, you need to have it, all that coercion crap. No, just rather stay my ground and think of myself and do things my way. You know, I'm not going to be told I've lasted this long in my life, got this far, doing things my way. So why should I change now?
Can I ask you, because I get it, but what is it about it for you personally? See, for me, I don't like being bullied.
No,
And I feel like I'm being bullied. And the more you bully me, the more I sort of stand my ground. So I'm a stubborn bastard.
Yeah.
But what is it for you personally? And you can be absolutely honest.
I can't. I've never been able to be told. Can't tell me what to do. I'll do what I want when I want. That's how I was brought up. You know, my dad was born in 1934 in Collingwood. Grew up in the Depression through Collingwood. My mum grew up in Mount Beauty. So it's just, yeah. Yeah. So that was a city meat country, and all of a sudden, me and my new girlfriend were city meat country again. So it's kind of ironic. But yeah, so I was brought up old school. You know, I was, may I leave the table, but it was also you stand up for what you believe in, no matter what anyone says.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I feel about things. You got to stand up for what you believe in. Don't let anyone tell you what to do. Sorry, that'd be my daughter.
This is daughter. Just take a call. Let's take a quick ad break here.
No,
I'll
it's all
sell
right, it's all
something.
right. I'll
We
call you
can't
back.
sell anything because no one will sell anything through our show because they don't want to be associated.
No,
So,
you know, even though it was a Death March.
oh my God, he's selling Star Wars. There's how are you going with the segregation? Basically the apartheid, especially as you are in the outer. Because
I've always been on the outer.
I know, but we've never had it with store. It's an extraordinary situation.
I'll just put it on silent. Sorry, guys.
I mean, it's an extraordinary
Oh,
situation.
yes, absolutely. I'd never thought living in Australia that we turn to this. We were against all this sort of stuff. We've fought wars. We've gone to different countries. We've, you know, done, you know, trade embargoes and all that on different countries because of these ways of life and the way they're trying to force these on people. And it's not right, you know. It's
The countries we actually fought against, Japan and Germany, are now protesting for our freedom. Do you know that? Outside.
Yeah. I know a guy from Serbia, and he told me a couple of months ago that in Belgrade, they're going up to their parliament and saying we don't want to become the next Melbourne.
There you go. Belgrade doesn't want to become the next Melbourne.
That's, you know, when
Extraordinary.
I was told that, it's when I was told that, it was like, wow, you know, that's, these people know oppression, they know segregation, they know communism, they know, you know, do as you're told.
Why do you think then that all these other countries can see it, that we can't, that so many people in Australia can't see it and think it's just the right thing to do?
She'll be right, mate. That attitude, she'll be right, mate. The government will look after us. We'll be fine. Oh, you know, thumbs up. I'll go home and get on the beers, you know. Nah, you know, you got to look behind. You got to see what the left hand's doing as well as the right hand. You can't just, once you've seen the left hand, the right hand's doing something that you don't know what they're doing. So you need to ask questions.
So basically, you think it's time for us to end our apathy? Because I mean, I get it.
Yep.
She'll be right. I mean, I really didn't know much to do about the government. I didn't know. Damien knows Parliament.
Yep.
And politics. I knew nothing really,
Yep.
but I'm learning quickly.
Yep.
But do you feel that if we get through this, that it's time for Australians to become very political, so like nothing like this can happen again?
Oh yeah, I was told, don't worry about politics, don't worry about religion, just live your life. Well, I've never been into politics until say about March this year. and actually seeing things on my own. My girlfriend's from aged care, so she's seen this roll out from the start. So she's seeing what this shit does. So anyway, but we've questioned things and we've watched things, and that's the thing. You got to question everything. Question everything, people. Question everything. Don't be told what you need to be thinking. Question it. Why should I think that way? That's what you got to think.
Well, I interviewed a Hungarian doctor today, and he told me when he was in Hungary, if you question stuff, if you stood up, you vanished, or you ended up with all your teeth broken, or ended up in a gulag. They don't want you questioning things, and that's what they're saying totalitarian is. And so, and at the moment, how are we allowed to question?
No. And don't worry, I've been to Mickleham too. Yeah, I've got the video to prove it too.
You've been to Mickleham? Oh man, can we have that video?
Yeah, because I've been my children live in West Meadows. So just up the road, just off Donnybrook Road on the highway there.
Oh yeah, we visited. Yeah. You want a top bunk? Because I'm having.
Oh, yeah, I suppose you're the shorter one.
I'm hoping it's mixed sex like when we're in primary school.
Yeah,
so we can have a bit of fun. All these 50-year-old prisoners together.
Oh, there's going to be so many fun people there as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a good crowd. It's going to be like Purgatory. You know, Purgatory always seemed like it was going to be fun.
Yep.
Yeah. So, okay, thanks, mate. Do you want to say anything to anyone, like a Christmas message or a New Year's message to Australians, just to give them some hope?
All I can say is look after your brothers and sisters. We're all in this together, as they said, right? Stop the segregation, stop the discrimination. We need to live together, the jabbed and unjabbed, right? We are the same people, whether we've had this medical experiment or not. So get out there, do what you want to do, and do not comply. And that's the main thing.
Merry Christmas, buddy. You want another hug before you go?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, brother.
That was great.
Yeah, no problem.
Just moving around to get some more light.
Michael?
Yeah, who we got next?
I've got a So Michael, we've got a lady that's come along tonight that's a vaccine injury, and she would like to hand you her story. She's hasn't got the confidence to give you the whole story on camera, but she'd just like to introduce herself, and you could ask her name, and she'll she's going to hand you the piece of paper that you might be able to use as a reference for just one of these vaccine injuries.
All right, and can you get someone after that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I might let everyone know that if in our background here we have the beautiful Lake Colac, a marvellous town, a beautiful lake, and we're sitting at the bottom of the Botanic Gardens.
Okay, looks like audio thing's working. So who is next? I think they're just getting this lady first, and then I'll do you, sir. Have a sit down, my dear.
Seat for 2 secs.
Thank you.
First off, Merry Christmas for what's coming up and a Happy New Year. Now tell me, what's your name?
My name's Enid.
Enid.
Yes.
Now, have you lived in Colac for a long time?
Long time, yes. 20-something years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Andrew said that you've had an injury from the vaccine.
Yes, I have, and I've written everything down for you.
Okay. Okay.
And
So you,
I've signed my name on it.
so you want me to leave you this here, and I could
And you can keep it and use it for your publicity or anything. I don't mind.
publicity. Okay. I think the big farmer's not going to enjoy that too much, but we'll. How about I read it out in the next few days?
Yes, that would be just fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's my Christmas present. I'll read it out to you in the next few days.
It has. I have sent it to the Prime Minister.
Did he get back?
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. And how are you traveling?
Not very well, and I had the injection in April, and I still have really bad days.
April.
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't walk for 3 days. Crawled to the toilet. Couldn't stand up. It wasn't nice.
Was that the first or the second jab?
First,
The first. And did they still make you get the second?
they've been after me to get it, but I won't have it.
You won't have it. And what's put? I just put that there. And what's put you off the fact that you're crawling to the door is maybe I'm not that.
Trying to please the family so that I could see my great granddaughter, but that's all gone by the boy.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll promise to read that out. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, just thank you for being here.
Okay.
I've looked for somebody to give me some help, and I think I might have found it.
I tell you what, if anyone's listening, I think there'll be lots of people listening. Why don't you give them a Christmas message and a New Year's
Ah.
message from me?
That's so hard. All I can say is God bless you, and remember what Christmas is really about. Our Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you.
You want a hug?
Oh, that would be nice. Free one. Oh,
I'll read that out. I promise you.
and how will I hear it?
I'll get Andrew. I'll get Andrew to send you the link. Okay, so link up with Andrew. Okay, I'll do it. No
Thank you
worries.
very much. Thanks for your time.
No worries. Okay, sorry, you're looking at my belly when I stand up to do the free hugs. I'm trying to lose weight. Come in, my dear. Hi,
Hi.
welcome to the show. Come in a bit closer.
Incredibly nervous and
You're incredibly
a
nervous.
bit emotional.
Okay, well, try not to be too nervous, but there is 2 million people watching. They're all naked.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
Now,
Yep.
tell us your name,
Tanya.
Tanya.
Yeah.
Now, Tanya, why? First off, have you lived in Colac for a long time?
Yeah, it's a long time, many years. Children raised here. I was working here. Yes.
Okay,
I'm
and
local.
you were working here, so I take it you've lost your job
Tomorrow I'll be terminated.
tomorrow. And can you tell me what you do?
I'm a social worker. Vulnerable children and frontline family violence.
Vulnerable children and family violence. And in this COVID time, I'm guessing that that's probably on the rise.
Absolutely, incredibly on the rise. Yeah, the last year has been, phenomenal. We've seen a huge increase in family violence and vulnerable families needing help as well. Yeah.
Would you call it an epidemic of
Yeah.
people?
Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
And so you've got all these people that need all this extra help and really need help, and our government is actually removing carers.
Absolutely. And my co-worker is on long service leave due to the same concerns, and the other worker has been relocated in Geelong, so there's nobody. There's one new worker. So in our town, there's basically no one doing child and family vulnerable children and family violence at the moment. Sorry. Yeah.
So let's just do that, just in case no one heard that. There's a huge increase of need, and there's no one to help. There's no one.
No. I spoke to the new worker who replaced our old worker. So we had 3. She started the week we left. She does vulnerable children. She hasn't done a home visit since we left because she's the only person in the office.
Okay, so and just to clarify, there's no one. There's increased need. There's no one to help, and it's Christmas. Literally, I don't even know what day it is. Christmas in about 11 days, and they're going to let you go tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah. And I've been off work for the last 6 weeks. So.
And this is from a caring government that's looking after us, and it's all for our health. That's
right. Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's shocking. It's so wrong in so many ways. Yeah.
Any idea what you're going to do?
I've been doing some art, so thanks, Dan. I've become an artist. That's all I can say. I don't know. I'm going to live in the bush, escape this society. I don't know. Oh yeah.
Can I ask what is your issue with taking the vaccine? And we're a pro-choice show. We're not anti-vax. We're pro-choice.
Yep. No. So that's it. I suppose number one is that by being mandated, I felt that the only choice that I had was to say no, because yes was not a choice. My children have been forced. My son had to take it for work, and my daughter wants to return, so I'm doing it for them. I have personal reasons, health reasons why, but
you don't need to justify it.
But that's really is freedom of choice. Coercion's not a choice.
Have you ever heard of a term? I found it in a museum. It was called "My Body, My Choice."
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
I've heard of that. That was on.
It was next to a a skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah. I put that on my sign for one of my groups.
Have you been going to the groups?
Yeah, I'm involved in quite a few groups.
So you're becoming a freedom fighter.
Absolutely, yes. I've been a bit of a rebel for a while, so my own way. Definitely, yes. And working, helping a group called Community Services Speak Out. So we're
How's your group coming? Are you getting support from your group?
We're joining together and sending out letters to peak bodies and peak funding bodies, asking questions, about how they're reconciling the current situation and for them and the workers and things like that.
At the moment, our government doesn't like questions.
No.
You're getting any answers?
We only started this week, but we have had a couple of answers. I know that the Greens wanted to meet with us, so that was on another issue, disability. But we'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Is anything else you'd like to say?
No,
Like a
no,
Christmas
just-
message to anyone?
Oh, Merry Christmas, everyone. Hold the line. Yeah, that's it. And thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming on. I'm giving everyone free hugs if you want one. You want a free hug?
absolutely.
Okay,
No worries.
going up, get rid of my belly. No worries. And so you sit down for a sec. The thing with the free hug is that at the moment, our whole government, our whole system is trying to divide us using fear. And so if you have it, it takes a little bit of courage to do a hug, but the payoff is you get a hug.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome.
No worries. Thanks for coming. You, come on, sir.
Michael,
Welcome.
pleasure to meet you.
Malcolm. What's your name?
Alex.
Alex. And you lived in Colac a long time?
Oh, look, I was born here 67 years ago, and I'm still here.
Oh, so okay, you're absolutely okay. You're as dinky die Colac as you can get.
Yeah, you could say I'm acclimatised. Yeah. Look, I've worked away in Melbourne 5 or 6 years, and a couple of other places for a couple of years. But
And what did you do in Colac? What'd you do in Colac when you were here?
oh well, I'm still living here, but yeah, I do auto electrics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And how has this current era of segregation and mandated vaccines and this pandemic been affecting your life?
A lot of different ways, I've got to say. But if I can just start off by saying it's what you're doing is fantastic. People in our position that are generally vaccine free, not all of us are, but many of us are, can find it difficult, and it's pretty hard to have a voice nowadays. So what you're doing is awesome.
Do you think it's
I'm very grateful. Yeah.
have you ever known a time in Australian history? I mean, you're a little bit older than me, not much. A time in Australian history where we weren't allowed to discuss issues at all. I mean, literally not allowed to question. Have you ever known another time like it?
No. I can say no. Not in 67 years. This is really one out of the box. And
how about the Vietnam War?
Oh no, it was the Vietnam War. It was people had a voice. They could protest freely. Whatever they made a lot of noise about it. Okay, it was all built on a lie. We know that now. The truth of it has eventually come out on that.
Yeah.
But for many years it didn't come out, and people at the time thought there was a threat, which there really wasn't. And I suppose it's a little bit.
I think that was to the people who are too young to even know Vietnam War. What was the threat?
Well, the threat was communism. Communism was going to take over Asia, then extend down to Australia and everywhere else. So it had to be stopped, basically. But it didn't really turn out to be true. Although I mean, communism, exists.
Do you think it's? Do you think what we're going through is like a form of communism? We're not allowed to question, and there's so much government overreach. Do you think we're sort of bordering on a similarity, or do you think we've still got a healthy democracy?
No, it's absolutely every bit of communism, yeah. And it's quite ironic because my father, I'm from Romanian background, and Eastern Europe. My father fought in the resistance in Romania. He was imprisoned first by the Germans because they annexed all those countries. And then when they lost the war, the Russians, communism, basically annexed all those countries. So he was imprisoned by them as well. And he did manage to escape. He was lucky to escape. And he found his way over here. And ironically, I find myself in the same fight. It's
Quantify the fight. What do you see the fight as?
well, I mean, what we have is a resistance movement. It's as simple as that. We're in a war. We're in a war against lies and deceit and bullying. And we have pretty formidable forces against us. We have virtually all political parties and those involved in politics. The whole entire political class has abandoned us. The media has abandoned us. And basically every part of bureaucracy and all the tentacles thereof. And it's all based on a lie, a huge lie. But and I find it really interesting, getting back to a previous question, just to observe what's really going on. At the moment, it's a really special time in history. It's never happened before on this scale, on a global scale, the way it is here. Sure, it's happened throughout Europe, South American countries,
Even the Caribbean people.
Yes. And now it is absolutely a global phenomenon. So I'll let people make their own conclusions there. But
what do you think's going to happen in your own thing? Or because I have no idea at the moment. I don't seem I seem to be surfing the tide. But what about yourself?
What's going to happen is we're going to win. We are going to win. Because we have the truth on our side. And they have nothing but lies and coercion and bullying. And that's no match for the truth. And it's just a matter of getting enough people to wake up and stop being sheep. And there's a good term too. I think it was Scott Morrison that was at a press conference this morning or yesterday. Saying that they just had one state to get in line, and we just have to get the sheep through the gate.
Yeah, I heard that.
That was his words. All we have to do is get the sheep through the gate. So how ironic is that? And wake up, people.
Do you want to say anything as a Merry Christmas or a New Year's Eve thing to Australia?
Yeah, well, I know it's pretty difficult for us to have a Merry Christmas, maybe because things are so fragmented, between the community, socially, between families. Families have been split. Mateships have been lost. But, if I can give people a bit of heart, if you're vaccine free, you're in a better place than most. And you might feel you're walking alone, but you're walking in the right direction.
Are they alone?
And no, they're not alone. They're certainly not alone. I know a lot of people can feel alone in this, but they're not. And the numbers growing. You've just got to look around. The numbers are growing. The rallies have been great. So yeah, just sit back with the thought that you haven't had the vax. You're going to live a lot longer than a lot of other people. So, and without all the trauma that goes along with it. So, yeah, that I think that it should bring peace to a lot of people. That it's hard. People have found it hard, but take some solace from that.
Okay, great. Cheers. I'll move to someone else. Thanks very much for coming on.
worries.
You want your free hug? They're coming.
Yeah, good on you. Thank you.
That's a lousy hug. There goes. Who's next?
Yeah, these girls down here. You're getting plenty of hugs tonight, Michael.
Yeah, I'm a hug machine.
Yeah. So we've got a couple
Hello.
of lovely girls that work in the mental health industry to come and.
Oh, great. We still got some light going on. Just check. Yep, that's good. Oh, two. Okay.
We've got two.
Let's squeeze in. We've got two here. Let's see. So I'm going to be on the side like there. Welcome. You're going to have to squeeze in.
Okay.
You squeeze in. Let's squeeze in like a little dressed menage a trois. And off we go.
Hello.
My name's Michael.
Hi, I'm Belinda.
Hi, Belinda.
I'm Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
Hi,
Just need to
Michael.
lean in just so we can
Oh.
squeeze you in. Now, you're in the mental health industry?
No, aged care.
Oh, aged care. Yeah. And so are you losing your job? So have you lost your job?
We have. Yeah.
Yeah, I have got my termination letter today.
And I got mine last week. Yeah.
And was it cold? Did they offer anything, or was it just like a see you later?
Serious misconduct. Because we didn't follow mine was said that because I didn't follow the CHO directives, I have, serious misconduct.
Yeah.
S-
We got the
ser-
exact same
sorry,
letter.
serious misconduct
Yeah, it's the pot calling the kettle black, isn't it?
for not taking the jab.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So we've been haven't been working since the 16th of September.
Yeah, I was on sick leave. Before that, I used my sick leave, and then when I went on to annual leave, that's when they contacted me, and we meant to have a meeting last week, but I sent them an email instead and told them that it was none of their business what my vaccine status was, and I wasn't going to tell them. And then they sent me the letter today. They emailed.
Yeah, and pretty much the same. I didn't disclose anything, what I was up to or what my decision was or anything like that. And I guess they just got sick of being ignored or being challenged,
Can I ask how long have you worked at the home?
Yeah, so I'm 8 years.
9 years.
9 years. So you know the residents well.
Yeah.
And is the place usually short-staffed?
Yes. Desperately.
Desperately, and is even worse now.
It's unimaginable now from what we hear.
So it was short-staffed before they lost you, and now.
Yep.
So what sort of level of care do you think can be offered to people with that crucially short-staffed?
What sort of level of care? Okay, well, what would you say? So if you've got a ratio where it should be 4 to 30 staff.
The problem with private aged care is they don't have a ratio, so they'll work with whatever they've got. So my mum's actually in there. She's in the area that I was in, and I'm not allowed in there to see her either now, even though the government has stated now that even if you're unvaccinated, you're allowed back into the nursing homes. Mercy won't allow us in there.
Yeah, they're not allowing unvaccinated visitors in there unless their parents or relatives are palliative, which is extenuating circumstances, and then it's full PPE.
Okay, can we just stop a sec? Yeah. Just stop a sec. Am I in show? I just want to stop a sec. So it's Christmas.
Yes.
They've sacked you.
Yes.
Your mum's in the nursing home.
Yes.
And they won't let you see her.
No, they won't. They won't. Yeah, because I'm not.
Her out, don't you?
Yeah, we have to take her out. So my dad, he goes in and he takes her home, and then we can see her at home. But
if she wasn't in a position to be able to go out, then you just wouldn't be able to see her.
No, because we're actually not even allowed on the grounds. Mercy have brought in that you're not allowed. I shouldn't be saying their name, should I? That you're not allowed. But
You shouldn't say Mercy. What Mercy is the name you shouldn't say. Mercy Nursing Home. Mercy Nursing Home. You shouldn't say that name. Okay, so just pretend that we didn't say the word Mercy Nursing Home. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they won't even let us on the grounds. We're allowed there to pick them up and take them away, whereas they were beforehand doing window. You could see your mother through the window and talk to her on the phone.
You weren't allowed to open the window.
But you weren't allowed to open the window.
Breathed through it. It had to be a phone, like a prison visit.
Yeah. But they're not even allowing unvaccinated people to do that. And I heard it was because the staff have kicked up and said, well, we're all vaccinated, so we shouldn't be letting unvaccinated in here because they might make us all sick.
But they're vaccinated. How are you going to make them sick if they're vaccinated?
Well, go figure.
That's just this logic that's getting around, you know.
Now, can we move back to the word that we're not allowed to mention, Mercy?
Yeah.
Let's pretend the place is not called Mercy. But what does the actual word mean?
Well, that's right. What does it mean? And their what are their value? That respect.
Their values are the word Christ. So CHRIST. So compassion.
You mean Christ, as in Jesus Christ?
Yes.
Well, Jesus Christ, you know, he did go to the
Yeah,
lepers,
each letter
but
stands for
apparently in the
something.
Bible it says he wouldn't have gone with the lepers if they weren't vaccinated.
All right.
That's true. That's true.
Christ
It's in the new new Bible, the brand new one. It's stuck on there, written in texter.
So that stands for C for compassion, H for hospitality, R for respect, I for innovation, S for stewardship, T for teamwork. Didn't miss any, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, that's the values. So you know,
I didn't know them all.
so you don't do your training once you do your tenure.
I do, but I cheat anyway.
Yeah. But getting back to like just quickly with staffing and resident care, I guess in the particular unit we were in, because we're in the same unit, ideally you would have 4 staff to 30 residents. So we were struggling.
Can we say that though?
Yeah.
Because I used to work in nursing homes. I did 6 years. Now the morning was different from the evening.
Yeah.
So in the morning you'd have like 6 each. In the evening you might have a 1 to 2 to 30 or 3, and then so was that the same there?
No, it's more in the morning. So when we work in the evenings.
No, they were actually quite well.
Yeah, in the mornings.
In the morning.
4 on the floor, and then you'd have like Tanya, who's a team leader, giving meds. So 5 of us in the evening, and you were lucky. Really, if you were fully staffed, it's like, oh my gosh, my prayers have been answered. So I can only imagine what it's like now. I am sort of hearing if they have a couple turn up, then they've just got to work with that and that sort of thing. So resident care, I don't know. I can't really vouch for that, but I know that the staff there are all very good. They are, and they would be doing their bloody best to provide that care.
But they're going to burn out.
Yeah.
The staff will burn out.
Oh, they are already.
Yeah.
And when the staff burns out, what happens then?
They've got no staff. I have to say that I'm an EN, and I was looking on for EN jobs. I got on Seek, and I thought I'll have a look. And a couple of years ago, you'd look for an EN job, you're lucky to find 1 or 2 on there, and there's just heaps. So what does that tell you? You know,
All need the jab though.
Yeah, yeah, they all need the jab, but why is there so many staff out there when they're telling us that hardly anyone's not working?
Do you think maybe they could set up a nursing home that was like an unjabbed nursing home, the non-vaccinated nursing home? Do you think that would make sense?
I think it would be great.
It would be great.
It really would.
It's called common
we'd
sense.
feel
I
more
know.
comfortable, wouldn't we, working in that environment? We really would. Yep. And also, I kind of think that not as many people are studying aged care at the moment as well, possibly because of the mandates. Because the fact that there's just a shortage all around, it's not just the ones that have left, but it doesn't seem to be many coming in either.
Can I tell you, when I did the job, it was a very difficult job.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard manually, even with the lifts. It's very hard with the bureaucracy.
Yep.
They're pains in the ass.
Yes.
But the thing that made it great was the old people.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like
definitely.
fantastic. That's why we do it. You know, we're really passionate about, you know, about the elderly and that's their social histories and just their stories and they're just darlings and we really miss it. I really miss it.
So if you've known them for 8 years, 9 years, and so people probably there that long, like family, how concerned are you for them?
Oh, look, I'm very concerned, particularly with the staff shortages. Like I said, I cannot fault my work colleagues. Hi, if any of you are watching, they're all great. But if you haven't got enough staff, then of course those things are, you know, they're not going to be able to do everything. They're going to burn out, like you said.
Yeah,
the regular staff that are there now, and then I guess you've got
and they get snappy. Like when you're overworked, you get snappy. So the residents, they're going to get mistreated. They will, and it's not. I'm not going to say they're going to get belted or anything, but they're going to get snapped at. They're going to, like I was talking to my mum before I come down here tonight, and she was saying, you know, she rung the bell. She only needs a little bit of help, and they come in because she's rung the bell.
For longer because the staff are tied up and they're so busy that you know they possibly can't get there in a reasonable time. Like that's probably
What about WorkSafe, where like I was there before hoists, and because I was a bloke, I was always asked, "Can I help? Can I, you know, can?" So I was always helping with the lifts. Then they brought in the hoists and stuff. They always took 2 people. How can they? But how can they possibly do 2 people if they're short
Well,
staffed?
they just have to, and that's I guess where the residents are probably going to have to wait.
The team leader to come and help.
So they'll interrupt the medications, which is a big job in itself that you have to have your head right in. But they will call the administrator of the medications to come and help.
And I know this sounds radical, but what if you did a rapid antigen test in the morning before work, and which takes 15 minutes, and they found out you didn't have COVID?
Well, I think they're providing them there now, even though they're all vaccinated. They're offering those for anyone that wants them if they're feeling unwell or they're a bit worried about that they might have something, then they're offering them there now. But you have to be obviously double vaccinated to be able to perform one of those tests. We're not even allowed in the doors. So
we're not even allowed.
We'll just take a little giggling break. So only the double vaccinated could get a rapid antigen test.
Well, at Mercy anyway, because we're not allowed there.
So the unvaccinated can't get one,
we can't even get in the door.
No.
Okay.
I know. So
well, this is the comedy interview because I'm sorry, it is just you don't want to laugh, but it's just
we've done a lot of that too. We've
so
done a lot of, like
it is so ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's just a shame because you know we know those residents inside out. We know their needs down to what they wear to bed, or you know those sorts of things. What they have when
things,
how they like to lay or whatever, and we are not able to provide. We're not allowed. We're banned from providing that care, which is just an absolute. It's a crime.
Can I say this is? I'm not in camera. Think him. Well, they see my face enough. They know what I look like. Looking after old people is kind of like driving an old car because they got a noise here. They do this. Yeah. The more you work with them, the more you know what they like. Especially a lot of the old women are very particular. They like the juice there or something, and so that's the level of care. And the fact that it's done to what they want is done with love, and it's not like a romantic. It's just love.
And it helps in their whole holistic, I guess, sort of end of life stage living as well. They don't have to worry about any of that because the staff are providing it. So that's one thing. You know, it's a big thing. They don't have to worry about. You know.
And one final thing. What do you think? And I've asked another woman before. I was in a museum recently on the way up here. I was looking through the window because I wasn't allowed in. And next to the Tyrannosaurus Rex, I saw the skeleton. I saw something that was called "My Body, My Choice." Okay. Apparently, the bones of it. Have you heard of that dinosaur?
No.
But there is a song getting around called that. That's pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you think it's extraordinary that all that's gone and now literally we're becoming the lepers?
Yeah, and I also, you know, it's just amazing how human rights that have been worked for over the last decade in particular, they're gone. They just seem seems to have trumped everything.
I just can't believe that the government, everyone's believing the government. I just can't believe it. Like that to me is just.
The people are still actually.
Well,
under the cloak of the government and thinking that they're doing an amazing job and lining up for the booster, because people are unwell from the booster, from what I've heard as well.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
That's really doing people a doozy, is the booster. So it's only getting worse for people who are partaking in this.
Yes.
Okay, let's end. Let's try end on a quick Christmas message. To wish everyone, are you being ostracized by family members at all?
No.
Oh, great,
Very blessed.
great.
Love my
Well,
family.
how about if anyone?
Yeah.
I didn't get the mic over there in time. So anybody who maybe it was working at your home or worked before, maybe a Christmas message to them that's non-aggressive, just a message of hope, say.
Merry Christmas, everyone who works at Mercy. Wish we were there with you.
Yeah, I agree too. Wish we were all there doing it as a team and enjoying Christmas Day together like we normally would, or bring a plate, So, but we're not.
No.
But go girls, do
And
it well.
boys.
And boys, do it well.
Thanks for
Okay.
coming on.
Thanks, Michael.
I'm really sorry, but thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
You want a free hug? Then go on.
Yeah, we'd love a hug. Thank you.
Unbelievable.
It is.
Nonsense.
It'll change.
You want to come on?
Is this light any good, Michael? Michael, is this light any good?
I'll see you in a sec. At the moment, it's okay.
So okay.
Okay. Okay, just making sure we got 2 on. I think 2's probably best. Yeah. Hello.
Hi, Michael. I'm
Oh.
Aaliyah.
You got. I'm not clicking my microphone. Sorry. Tell me your name.
Aaliyah Grace. Aaliyah Grace. Yep. Yep.
That's a beautiful name.
Yeah, thank you, Michael.
Now, are you a Colac resident long term, or are you new here?
I'm actually from Geelong.
Oh, you're from Geelong.
I'm a renter crowd.
You rent a crowd.
That's our renter crowd.
This is one of the rented fascists that we bring in. One of the white supremacists.
And do you know what we did tonight? I felt the calling this morning to come because we do a meditation on a Tuesday evening online, and I thought we're going to go to a beautiful location. I talked to my friend Mark Power, and he said, "Oh, Cafe Lockout is going to be at Colac today." I think, well, we'll go to Colac. And I actually rang Barry and said, "Barry, are they really going?" And so we left at 4:00 and we're here. We did the meditation, and it was so beautiful because we did it just over yonder.
I'll show the camera around in a sec. It's actually really beautiful here.
Yeah,
it's really beautiful.
It's gorgeous. And we set up, and the pelicans came in, and the pelicans for me are a sign of peace. And I just thought, wow, this is so what we need in our world. And
were they vaccinated pelicans? Because I know that apparently it's a segregated lake now.
Well, they're a little bit skittish, and they did fly away, but they were a beautiful omen. And I work with totem animals, and that is a beautiful totem animal to have around. The symbol of peace in Australia.
I think, to be honest, we grew up with Storm Boy. Was the book Storm Boy, and then the beautiful film that resonated deeply with us. So when we see it's Mr. Percival. I can't remember the other two, but I remember Mr. Percival. And so they in our soul, they are this big symbol of grace and peace.
And we were just talking about Storm Boy the other day, and obviously the ancestors were trying to connect with us. Yeah, so thank you for picking up on that, because I didn't initially
Storm Boy is an absolute Australian classic.
It is. It is, and it's a beautiful part of our coastline. And I actually come from St Leonard's, which is another beautiful part of Victoria, and we have a lot of pelicans at St Leonard's. So it was a beautiful affirmation that we're in the right place at the right time. And I just encourage people to connect with meditation more. And it could be walking, open-eyed meditation, because not everyone's into the close your eyes thing. But I work with families and
doing what?
Wellbeing workshops with a cultural influence. And I work with Michael Cousins, who's an Aboriginal elder, and he does the ditch and I do the yoga. And it's a beautiful combination.
And are you having any issues with the segregation and the government mandates?
We were working in schools, and this year I haven't been able to get into schools because of the mandate and because of all the lockdown. So that has been a real challenge for us. Michael did get the vaccination due to a bit of pressure at work, and now we we work together still, and he can go into the schools and he can Zoom me in. So I get zoomed in.
So you're a zoomed in meditator.
I'm a Zoom meditator. Yeah, that's correct. I love working with crowds, and I love working with people face to face.
I love face to face.
You love face to face.
I'm so sick of Zoom, even though none of you people, but Zoom is doing my head in.
And I've had some beautiful opportunities to work with the Aboriginal women's group in Melton at Kirrip House.
Watch this. Can we do a little experiment?
Yes.
Okay. Would you be comfortable just touching foreheads to show that it's we can do it and not die?
That's a really Maori thing, isn't it? Thank you.
See that? You're dying?
I'm all
you feel
good.
Okay?
I feel really.
I feel pretty good.
I feel grounded. Yeah. No,
I feel grounded. There you go. Oh my God, we survived. We survived. That's try to do that on Zoom.
Yeah. So we're just.
I know you're trying to be.
Lots of opportunities out there, but I think it's this whole situation has brought our communities together, and that's what we have to remember, that it's so important to work together regardless of whatever's going on in our world, and hold that space, that that calm in the storm. We're talking about Storm Boy, the calm in the storm, and it's within us all, in our hearts, and
And we are in stormy weather.
It is stormy weather, yeah, for sure. It is, as you talk about it, a spiritual war. Yeah, it is, and we have to be really real about this.
So when you say it's a spiritual war, would you suggest that meditation is a great tool for help in the spiritual war?
It's my go-to. It works for me, and I'm a role model of it. I don't say you have to do it, but
you offer classes?
Yeah. I offer classes online, meditation and yoga, and we're looking.
Do you want to say your website?
Yeah. You can. The best way is Facebook at the moment, Beloved Essence on Facebook, and we work with family groups. We're also connecting with the teachers and the nurses. So I do wellbeing, emotional release work with people that have lost their employment and are going through grief, and also families that have been separated, because I have experienced that during the COVID. I've been separated from my children for a time during the COVID lockdown, and I guess by going through that myself, I can hold the space for the ones that have also gone through that separation from a loved one. So
I'll tell you what, you send in to Cafe Lockdown, cafelockdown@gmail.com.
Yep.
Send in your Facebook links and stuff, and we'll put it on the page.
Yep. And there's just one more thing that I do.
Go.
I'm a children's book author, and I write children's books. They're meditation books for parents and children at bedtime to help them, to be in that beautiful space so they can go off into their dreamland in a really peaceful, grounded, nurturing way. Yeah.
And is that all on the Facebook page?
Yep.
Right. Then send us through the Facebook page, and I'll put it up.
I can do that, Michael.
Yeah.
And thank you to all the work that you do for all of us.
That's all right. It's just
Damien
talking.
And
too easy talking.
And to Barry as well, because you are a team and you're doing amazing work in our world. So thank you.
Oh, did you say hi to Barry? Say, Barry, you got an admirer out there. Barry rocks.
He does rock. Yeah, he's an amazing mentor, and gratitude for Barry.
Getting all the wires out of the way from Barry. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks.
Now, free hugs are going. You don't have to take one, but they're on offer.
Yeah, I'll have a hug.
There we go. Seriously.
Yep.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Another beautiful lady here for you.
Come on in.
Still got enough light, Michael?
Yeah, it's okay at the moment.
Lovely to meet you, Michael.
Come down. Okay. Thank you for coming here. What's your name?
My name's Jo.
And are you a permanent Colac resident? You born here, or you've just moved here?
I moved here about 15 years ago.
When you were 5?
To raise my beautiful family.
Hello.
So yeah.
You can't see this, but she's actually got 12 kids here. That's a joke.
So yeah, I've lived here 15 years. I've moved from Adelaide. So it's a bit of a culture shock moving from Adelaide to Colac, but it's a nice little friendly town to.
Culture shock, what way? Because I actually grew up in Adelaide for a bit in Geelong. So culture shock, what way?
Culture shock in that it was very small and everyone seemed to know each other. I was amazed every time I'd walk down the street with my partner or a friend, like they knew everyone.
Yeah.
So every second person is like, hi. And now I find myself doing that. So it's just normal. It's just beautiful being able to walk down the street. And
Is that when you go to Melbourne or you go back to Adelaide? You walk down and go, hi.
no. well, I smile at people a lot more, and they kind of look at you as if to say, "Oh, I didn't notice that." But no, everyone's really friendly and welcoming, and it's a beautiful town, especially for little kids. You don't have to go too far, and everywhere you go, there's that sense of community.
And how's that sense of community been affected by the mandates and the apartheid system?
That's a really good question. Yeah, there's definitely been a strong sense of separation. But there's been, like, for me personally, I haven't had a lot of antagonism from people in my life, but it's more of a, I'm really sorry. It's not me having to force this. These are rules that are coming down, and I have to do this, otherwise we'll get fined. And so it's more people worried about the repercussions on them, but it's like that unspoken. I know this isn't right, and I'm really sorry that things are the way they are. So I've been really fortunate in most of my as community relationships in that way. But I know there are other people that don't see things as kindly, and they don't understand. They don't understand why people are so opposed to what's going on, and I find that really hard because I just can't understand how people can't see what's going on. It's everywhere. Everyone has a story.
Is it a bit like Emperor's Clothes? You know, where some people can see he's naked and other people either can't or won't?
I suppose it is, yeah. It's like, how can people just not see what's going on? It's blows me away.
And where do you think we're heading with this?
I know there's some very dark predictions, and if you follow the way things are going, it could potentially end up somewhere very dark. But like we've heard so many times before, it's darkest before the dawn. Something good always comes out of adversity. I think the darker it is, the brighter it is. It's going to be on the other side. And sometimes we have to go through this darkness and this pain and shock to shake us to a point where we have to try hard to find that beauty in us and those connections. And as awful as it's been, and as awful as things still are at the moment, there's so much beautiful humanity coming out. And people are connecting really from that heart, like from that real soul space. And it's incredible. Like, I have hope that hope's one of those words that, you think, something we haven't got, but I can see it building. Like, I'll say it hope because it's still uncertain, but I have hope that we will get through this, and like we'll bring each other through this, and we'll end up somewhere really beautiful. Or you have to walk through the mud for a bit longer yet.
Okay. Have you lost your job or anything like that?
Not officially. I just don't have any hours given.
What do you do? You don't have to tell me, but what do you do? What field?
Pediatric allied health. Yeah.
So they just sort of got you on long-term standby.
Yes, yep, yep. So I'm still on the books. I'm just not actively working at the moment.
And is that a struggle with your family? Are you getting money coming in?
Well, my partner's still working. He's been compliant, so he's still able to work. So I mean that's helpful for us financially, obviously. But he has different views on what's going on at the moment. He's just more of the opinion you got to do what you got to do, and he's fulfilling his role as a provider and looking after us, which he does very well.
Well, that's a really noble thing. It is. You can't disrespect that. He's got a family to support and stuff, and reality. Yeah, I don't think you can deride that. I don't think this is an opinion piece. I don't think it's fair for us to put down the people that have had it as the people who have had it. I don't think it's fair they put down the people that haven't had it. It's is there. You don't have to tell us, but is there any reason why you haven't had it?
I've just known. Well, I've known intuitively that there was something off about this. Lots of reasons. My mother was a conscientious objector, so I didn't have childhood vaccines. I'm very, very slow to take up any new medication unless I feel it's absolutely necessary. I like to take the more natural approach if I can. And I just don't feel that I need to be taking a potentially genetically modifying substance. My partner and I have both been raising our girls to have a really good, strong sense of self, and that it's okay not to fit in as long as you're being true to yourself.
Well, if you go the other way, how do we teach our kids if you're being bullied, even if it's by a government, and we are being bullied, that the right course of action is to give in?
Well, and yeah, that's right. It's another thing. Just because someone tells you something doesn't mean you have to do it. If it doesn't feel right with you, then you don't do it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Do you have any Christmas messages or New Year's Eve messages? Oh, we're losing some light. We're going to see if we can get some light from somewhere.
Yeah, I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and I love the line. Keep holding the line. Keep staying strong in your hearts. Keep connecting with people. We are going to get through this, guys. Just keep loving yourself and love each other. We're going to make it.
That's beautiful. Thank you. You want a free hug? They're going.
Sure.
The only reason I do it.
Thanks, Michael. Lovely to meet you. Thank you for everything.
Thanks for coming on. Seriously, I'm just going to turn this around.
How you going, Michael?
I need some more light.
like spotlight. The rabbit.
It's not too bad, yeah. Yeah.
All right. Hi, Michael.
Actually, could I grab my jacket out of the way? We will have our light stand back in a sec, Mr. Beale. So we're a bit in the dark. We're like rabbits in spotlights here.
We could do little puppet things.
And we're going to keep going. My battery's still about 3/4.
Okay.
And there's a crowd here, so we'll keep going.
Yeah.
Now,
Hi.
welcome to the show. What's your name?
Michelle.
Michelle.
Yes.
Now, you got a lovely warm coat. Why have you come in here today to talk to us?
I have travelled an hour to come here. I've travelled an hour to come here to meet up with my sister who's not here. Jordana, where are you? To talk about, firstly, two things. I'm an ex-aged care worker, and just what I noticed this year, and spiritual aspect of this.
I might get you to, just for the light, I might get you to talk more to
Okay.
than to me. There's so you've lost your job in aged care?
Yeah. So I homeschooled my 4 children, and right through till the youngest was 16, he got an apprenticeship, And then I thought, what am I going to do with my life? So I went and did aged care, Cert 3 in aged care, you know, in my 50, turned 50, reinvent
Look good.
myself. Thank you. And so then I got a job in community care. I won't say where and who, but I loved my job. I loved the clients, and I started in March last year when all the protocols were there, you know, the masks and I think at one stage we had to have the screen and the gloves and all that. And
Oh, the face screen.
yeah, at one stage we did.
That must have been tough.
Oh, especially when you've got clients with dementia and they're you know, they don't connect with you if you're totally covered up. So it's like, you know, I would take it off. And a lot of them would
I
say,
just tell you that behind that hand, she did a funny face.
well, a lot of the clients would say, oh dear, can you take that off, please? I can't hear you. What dear? You know, so anyway, so all last year we didn't have any COVID, nothing like that. And, you know, I'd go into the homes and do my duties and that. Come this year, one client from the time in April when she got her first jab, AstraZeneca, I counted up to 60 dark red bruises on her body because I would shower her and I would report that. And but they were just not really alarmed. Like they did follow it up, but it looked like I looked up what, you know, the thrombosis thing or whatever it was. And anyway, then they ended up saying, oh no, it's just the medication she's on. And I said, oh, how long's the medication been? She's been on this. And they said, the beginning of 2020. And I said, how come she's only getting bruises now? You know, but I wasn't really listened to.
Were you asking questions in this period of time?
I was. Yeah, I was sort of keeping my awakeness from management because I knew right from about June last year that I was going to be sacked. So in all those months till October this year, I knew that I would be finishing up. And so it's a bit of a tension, you know, because I love my clients. I absolutely love my clients. And to know that at one day I'm going to have to say, sorry, I'm not taking this thing. And I'd already done all my research and I knew. And I tried to actually speak into my clients too. But, you know, they were so absorbed into mass media, you know, the ABC and all that they just really couldn't see it, you know. And one of my last clients, she had early onset dementia. And the last day before I finished up, because I'm suspended, I'm not sacked. They haven't sacked me and I'm not leaving. I talked to her husband and said about about her, oh, she's not jabbed. He said, oh, yes, she is. She got jabbed 4 weeks ago. And in that time, she had 2 strokes. And I didn't even know. And she'd gone from a woman who was walking with me to in a wheelchair. And it was very distressing to see the decline of the clients. But yeah.
Even though you say you knew it's coming, the fact sometimes knowing it's coming and actually arriving, are you astounded that it's actually happening?
It was really funny, actually, Michael. The tension that I had felt, like to get that phone call from the boss, who's very, very pro-vax, I was dreading that. But once I had that conversation and then I had my notes, all the things I was going to try and explain to him and my stance, he was very respectful. But then when I was actually suspended, I actually felt quite a lot of peace. It was like the tension had just melted away. And then I just went, oh, wow, okay, what's next now?
And what is next now?
Well, I don't know. I'm a volunteer counsellor as well. So, you know, you've been crying on your shows, you know, where are the counsellors, where are the people? So I have, in the last 2 months, had a lot more of opportunity, people ringing up to just debrief, just, you know, especially people who have lost their job and that sort of thing, and they're freaking out. I started up an online group 2 groups, and there's about 36 people on it, and we just support each other.
Isn't that extraordinary how there's all this? I mean, this is it here now. I've got this crib here. There's all this pressure on us, and yet we're networking, we're forming groups, we're supporting each other. I find I can't stop finding the beauty and the hope in that. Is that the same for you?
Yes, that's right. And it's like that. It was interesting because as I said, I've got 4 kids and they all lost their jobs. 2 were in construction and one was in a nursery. And when she came home from the thing, she went to the local general store. We had to pick up our letters. And she said, Mum, there was a plaque on the floor and it said, stop waiting at the closed door. You might miss the windows of opportunity, the open windows of opportunity. And I thought, wasn't that a message for you, hun? You know, and today she's got another job.
Well, that's
twice as much hourly pay.
Wow.
Yeah. So she has to work less and she gets the same money.
I wouldn't want a job like that myself.
Yeah, no.
Can I say though, I do think that if we hold the line with decency and caring, that people will see, well, maybe they're not lepers. Maybe they have something to offer, and maybe we'd actually like to be a part of their group as well, whether you're jabbed or unjabbed.
Yeah, yes. Well, as a fair income Christian too, I have been probably one of the biggest griefs has been the way the church has handled this across the board. I come from a Pentecostal church, but mainstream churches, all different churches, that a lot of them are complying, and it's not the way Jesus would do it. He would not reject people on the status of anything. Anything, status, their sin, anything. And if they say they're doing it just to, to be respectful of the government, and we keep hearing Romans 13. I don't know if you've ever read Romans 13. It says that you should respect the government and obey and that. But a lot of pastors who are awake speak about that verse and say you churches are using that as a means to comply and not rock the boat. But they're saying when there's a dividing line, do you obey God or do you obey man?
Or the government, God or the government.
Or government, you obey God every time because he trumps.
And do you think only the vaccinated are God's children? Do you think maybe the unvaccinated aren't God's children?
Well, God's children.
That's a trick question.
He loves us all. He loves us all. But he really cares about the harm that is going on in this world, not only through the division, but through the effects of the vaccine. And their voices aren't getting heard. They're harmed. And people like you and Damo and others that are helping to get the voices heard. It's good.
Can you look at the camera for the end of this? We're in a light now. We've got Mr. Beale's torch on us. It's not an approaching truck. Can you, if you want to, have a Christmas message to anyone who's watching, maybe someone you know or anyone else, just to Australians?
This Christmas, yes, it's going to be very different, and some are divided, some are together. We unfortunately will have a divided Christmas, but we're going to open our Christmas to anyone who hasn't got family. So despite what your circumstances is, remember the reason for the season, that Jesus came into the world and he loves you, and that you have family. You just have to look. Sometimes you lose your real blood family, but you're going to find other family and who will love you just as who you are. So God bless and have a Merry Christmas and a great 2022, whatever that will look like.
If Dan allows us, on Warrnambool this Sunday from 6 to 8, we're having Christmas carols for everyone in the park.
I have friends down there. I've already sent.
Well, it's a good time to maybe pop in and have a sing along.
Yeah,
with fair dinkum Christians.
That will be great. That will be great. Bless you.
You want a free hug? They're going tonight.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll call on Saturday with my free hugs, I think.
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday, is it? Oh no, what about the march?
I don't know about the march. Hello, Matia. Come in. Sure.
Oh,
Can
golly.
I get you to be the light stand?
Michael,
Hello, my dog. How are
free
you?
hug?
You want double?
Thank you for all that you do, Michael.
Yeah.
I'm the lady. Okay.
First off, I'll get your name first to start.
Melissa Dello.
Melissa Della. Okay, let's talk. This is a very difficult issue, but I believe we have to talk
Well,
about
I
it.
lost my son to suicide 9 years ago. And 2 nights ago on your live feed, you were flicking through your comments and it stopped on mine. And Damien said, look, Michael, read that. And you actually, yeah, you gave me back my spirit because I had lost it for other reasons. But yeah, so I'm here because of him. And
What was his name?
Isaac, my angel son, yeah.
How old was he?
He was 23 when suicide got him. And I put that in my comment and I said they need to be talked about. And as we know with the government, they don't talk about them. And they say there's 1,500 suicides this year. We'll double that and then double it again.
I was touring a suicide prevention play called Marooned.
Andrew just told me about that.
Yeah, and what I found when I was doing this play, and I was coming to country towns.
Am I meant to be looking at you or there?
You look at it both.
I don't mind looking
right.
at it.
But what I found, and this is really serious now, is that
we need to talk about it.
When you take your life, you die twice. And what I mean is, you take your life and you're gone, but then many people don't talk about it, so it's like you vanish.
Oh yeah, and the thing with a lot is the old school way. You know, the old school way is move on, which is a politician's saying, move on, move forward. We don't. And people say, let go. Well, we can't let go because we want to hear their voices. So if you're around someone that's lost a child, a partner, a dog, a pet, we want to hear their voices. We want you to remind us of the memories because as the anniversaries pass, we don't get to make new memories. So don't feel like you're walking on eggshells when you're with someone that has lost someone close to them. Feel free to talk about them and reminisce about them because society is still the old school way. And they say, if we talk about them, we're still in the grief. Well, the grief comes and goes. So we also live for their life they had. And I had 23 beautiful years with Isaac. And it wasn't just a phone call. We tried to keep him here for 18 months. So the pressures of being a 20-year-old, get that job, get that girlfriend. Well, my boy was a workaholic. And
What was his job?
he Red Rock out here, there's a vineyard, and he started at root level, like when it was just a paddock, and he built himself up and he made wine. I don't know that, or vinylist or something. So he made wine.
You got a picture of it?
Yeah. Did I? I do. There's my boy. With my other boy, I have another son, Clay, which probably Clay won't be watching this. Oh. There you are.
That's me. You don't want me. I'm everywhere.
We need you to be everywhere. Oh, hang on. How do I go there?
We're just doing some tech stuff.
Oh, yes.
Let's hit that.
And then we go to there, don't we?
Yep. Yep. Photos.
Oh, you're clever. Oh no, it wouldn't. It's going to be way back up here.
Just having some technical issues here at the same time. How's my light stand going? But my play Marooned was written for an actor called Guy May, who took his life. Guy May, the anniversary of his death is today. It's been 5 years, and I know his mother. It feels as painful to her, if not more painful, today than it did then. And I know that for a fact, even though I haven't spoken to her for a period because of COVID. I do know that for a fact. She told me all the time. And she used to go to support groups.
I don't have them. We don't have them in Colac. I've been asking for bereavement cancelling for over 3.5 years in Colac. There is not bereavement cancelling in Colac. We get sent to Geelong.
Just going to bring up the picture. What was his name? Isaac.
Isaac. Oh.
There. There's Isaac.
And his brother's cuddling him. Yeah.
How are you coping at the moment with all the COVID and everything else going on?
The COVID doesn't affect me because I don't associate. I'm always at home. I barely get a visitor a week, if that. So
you're becoming a hermit yourself?
Well, because when Isaac decided to leave, I say he left the earth. So it was his choice. And so, as I was saying, people don't know how to deal with my tears.
So when they're seeing you, them across the street, they
Yes.
try and avoid you?
Yes.
So you're basically another victim too of that? Like ostracized almost?
Yes. Yeah.
And one way to stop that would just be to...
But I don't think that's because of suicide. I think that's just how people are with grief. Because with the mental health system, you get labels, anxiety, depression. But where does that start? Grief can be from loss of, not taking anything away from Isaac, but grief is a loss of a house, a job, a relationship, an animal. And, if someone's depressed, don't stay away from them. Be there for them.
Can you give us some examples for people who want to do it? Because sometimes if you wanted to sort of say a lot, something to talk about is like not talk about him or just come up and what's a way to rebuild a bridge to you?
To me, talk about your children and let me talk about my children. Because I can't live in his death. I have to live in his life, and they're the memories I have. And I want to reminisce about those memories. So, people that went to school with him, they can come and tell me a story that I wouldn't know, when he was getting in trouble at school or something, or, I don't mind people asking questions, and I.
So you don't mind talking about it?
No. And I think...
So it actually helps you to talk about it?
Oh, absolutely. Because I feel that he's my guardian angel, and he wants me to talk about it, and I do it for him. So, and I just want people to know that with all that's going on with the lockdowns and the COVID and all that, there is depression and anxiety. Please don't stay away from that. Because we end up getting trapped inside ourselves, and sometimes people are scared of what's on the outside. But please just put that aside, the tears, the anger, the frustration and all that, and just give that person time and just... You can't fix it. People want to make it better and they tell you to do this and to do that, and I've tried everything. So Mother Earth and Father Nature is wonderful for me, and pets are great for me, and just want the world to be more kinder. There's with the divide. Hugs. We all need hugs.
She's going to get a hug any moment now.
I got time to talk about something else? Homelessness. Now,
Are you facing that yourself?
in this community, Colac community, we have homelessness. We have people living in tents. We have people living under bridges. We have people living out the road, because once again, this town is not supported with homelessness. There is not accommodation. So we get sent to a Geelong again. So I'm sick of the labels. I'm sick of people going and saying, well, this person is homeless because of drugs, alcohol and stuff. Well, the point is they're homeless. It doesn't matter what put them homeless. They need our support. Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to say?
I would also like to talk about op shops are essential.
Yeah, we paid them a visit last week. They are essential service.
I watch your filming, and I put up on your live feeds to send it to your local op shops. And I'm not saying to come down hard on them. I feel they need the support to stand up to the government.
If the bottle shops can be essential, the op shops should be essential.
Yes, I haven't had a drink since last year, so I don't need to go to an op shop, but I need to go to a bottle shop. But I need to go to an op shop.
Yeah, me too.
I need it for retail therapy. I get pacey at home, and I don't have someone to call. I don't have support. I have Clay, which I haven't seen since February, and I miss you. Hopefully we'll get a Christmas this year, hopefully. But I would like our op shops to stand up to the government, and you will be supported. Lifeline, like all our op shops don't allow, they discriminate. And I also don't like how there is people that can't have a jab because they've got health issues.
You don't have to justify it. My body, my choice. You don't want to take it, don't take it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Free country.
Yeah. And I could.
Yeah. Democracy.
Yeah. So just be kind. You know, if you see someone struggling, what I like to do when I go to the supermarket is take someone's trolley back. Sometimes I like to pay it forward. If I'm going for the takeaway, I pay for the person behind me. If I'm having a bad day, I want them to have a good day. So just be kind, be patient, and just, yeah.
Be Christian.
Yeah.
You want another hug?
I do. I'm sure there's someone else. Nothing else. And I also want to say, hi, Damien. You're amazing. Thank you. There's pigeons. I love the pigeons. And Anthony. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Rashan. Thank you, Morgan. And the list goes on. But we need you and we appreciate you. So take care of yourself, Michael. Drink water. Eat well.
Don't get sunburnt.
Yeah. But please, with the suicide rates that we're not talking about, we want to hear their names. We want to talk about them. Because I don't want Isaac to become a statistic. Okay.
See you, gorgeous. You take care.
How you going, matey? I've still got a couple.
Yeah, bring him on.
Great. This is Ray. How you going, Mike?
G'day, Ray. I'm just looking at myself. I look like a basted turkey. That's very moving, that, about the suicide. You know what I mean? It's always been a silence in our community. We haven't really. And so, so you have to give me a moment.
There's always a thing. Do you talk about it or do you don't talk about it? As I grew up, that was always a controversial subject, and it was, I suppose, brushed under the mat, really, which I don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah, you don't want to talk about it, and it creates the idea in people's heads, and then you do talk about it. So,
it's difficult, and sometimes I think in the past Australians haven't really talked about difficult issues, and now we're here often not allowed to talk about this. This is even just as difficult issue.
Yeah, this is a huge issue, and what I've noticed, I've been to several of the marches on the Saturday, and I was there last Sunday, and
Oh, so you're the fascist neo-Nazi person.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's me, the white supremacist, angry neo-Nazi, as they call us. Yeah. And 2 or 3 times we've come across the Europeans, Croatians, and all that sort of thing, and they all say it's uncanny how they say, we've seen all this, we've seen this before, and these are totally different people that don't know each other, and we've just started talking to them, and they've all got the same story. They're all there, they're all worried, they can
just stay very still, very still.
Got him?
Got him.
Yeah. Did he get any blood? Is there a red spot? Is there any blood?
Before you go on, what's your name? I missed your name.
Ray. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's true. I mean, I hang around with a crazy Croatian called Steve, as a brother of mine, and we met on the marches, and now we're always together fighting. It's the first time I think he's not here. So the Croatians are amazing, and all those Argentinians, Chileans, every country that's been through totalitarianism is literally on the street screaming, "Wake up! You've got to stop this now."
Exactly. And on Sunday, my wife's the first time she's ever come. She's been worried about coming to a march and how what the news media say really what it is, and I'm telling it's just a lot of good people, brilliant people. There's never any anger there. It's just like a big family. You come away feeling happy that there's other people trying to help, and
we had the breakaway free hug army that was on the rampage.
That's right. Yeah. On the Sunday, and because she's quite light skinned, she went over and stood behind one of the big pillars at the front of Parliament to try and get out of the sun. And when I went over there, she's talking to a couple of Argentinians, and they're saying exactly what I've already discussed with you. Exactly the same thing. We've seen it all before, Yeah.
Why do you think when it's so clear to so many people, it doesn't seem to be clear to others?
Well, I don't know. That was going to be my question for you, because
I don't take questions. I'm the star. I'm just the sunburnt. I'm the basted turkey. No, so but I actually don't have an answer for that question. I'm really interested in it though.
I've got a family of 3. I've got 3 grown-up children, and all of them have had the jab. And my answer to it is, there's no win in this for me. If everything they're saying is correct about the jab, it's just a lose for me. I don't have a win in this fight. It's just wrong. It's just straight out wrong what they're doing. Yeah. So it's just a sinking feeling, however this turns out.
My thing with the jab is one thing, but the segregation and the apartheid. I can't believe Australia and apartheid are in the same sentence.
Yeah, absolutely. It's destroying everything we were taught growing up, with treating everyone as equal, not segregating on any sort of aspect. It's just wrong.
Churches are doing it.
Yeah. Every fiber in your body just goes, this is wrong. You grow up innately, good from bad, and you just know this is bad.
And you don't have to be like, there's a lot of people saying it's a spiritual war, and people are going that way, but you don't need to have a belief in God to know right from wrong.
Absolutely. Yeah. And my mother always, I'm not from, I think, agnostic. I think you said on Sunday you're agnostic, and my mother was the same, but she had a saying, it's the way you live your life. It doesn't matter if you don't go to church on Sunday, it's your beliefs and the way you live your life. And I think that is, I guess I've got the same attitude, passed it on to me. It's the way you live your life. Yeah.
Well, weren't they decent? The majority of us lived up to those qualities. And don't you think that's why Australia was so great?
Yeah, it is. Exactly. That's why everybody wants to come to our part of the world. That's the exact reason for it. Yeah, everyone's given a fair go, as they call it. And originally I was a Kiwi. I've come over from New Zealand in 2000 with a young.
Your Prime Minister is kooky. I mean, she's off. I don't know what's happened to her.
Oh, I saw something with her today. She's going to hunt down every last one in her mind. She's a Marxist communist, really. At the end of the day, what more can I say, really? Yeah.
Well, I think the interesting thing is that there's a lot of New Zealanders now getting refugee boats to Russia to to escape. In fact, we might be booking a few tickets ourselves.
Yeah, she is an embarrassment, I think, to the country. And despite what the media say, I've still got a lot of relatives in that over there, and they all say the tide has turned against her, long since turned against her. But our friends in the mainstream media keep pushing the line, and
She's given them $50 million to the mainstream media to debunk anything, to push it. Now, honest, Damien would ask this question, so I'll try my best. I really thought the media was meant to hold the government to account. And how can the media hold the government account when the government is actually paying $50 million to the media?
Yeah. I actually saw her questioned in Parliament, and one of the opposition over there put that very question to her. This $50 million that you've given has all these conditions attached. So aren't you controlling the media? And her opening answer to that was, I reject the premise of that question, which means absolutely nothing. And that was her staunch thing. She jumped up and said. She basically avoided answering it and just got on her high horse. That was it. That was the answer to the question, which is ridiculous. Yeah.
There's no answer, really.
There's no answer, yeah. Well, we know the answer. But something else happened to me today. I had a friend that went to our local hospital. He had a procedure done. He's on his own, and I took him there and picked him up. He couldn't drive. He went under anaesthetic. And when I got to the hospital to pick him up, they rang up, said, come and pick up this guy. And when I went to pick him up, I went into the hospital and, have you QR coded in, and could you put a mask on? I said, yeah, I can do that. And so I went and QR coded, and one of the questions in the QR code was, are you vaccinated? And I said, no, I'm not vaccinated. And it came up with a question mark at the end. And I had to tell the nurses at the counter, I'm not vaccinated. Oh, wow. So then I'm treated completely differently. So I've with my mask, I've got a full face mask put on. I can sort of show you a picture of it. And I can't help but think it was all about shaming me, really, for that. That's it there. Full face mask for it. So I'm the only I am the only one in the I'm the only one in the hospital out of probably 15 people that has got one of these full face masks on to pick up my friend in a hospital. I'm probably there for 5 minutes in the waiting room to pick him up and take him out to the car and drive him back to my place.
Well, in Melbourne now, do you remember when they used to have those ads, Cocad's Life, and they had those big plastic balls rolling across the ocean and people were inside of them? Yes. They're getting them now for the unvaccinated. You go and you just roll into the hospital.
The other thing I wanted to do next time I'm in Melbourne is go to Mickleham and pick my room and look at the menu. I really want to get input on the menu, what I want to eat when they come and round me up. And I want a room with a window. If you're watching, guys, I want a room with a window.
And I want to be some of the musos in my room, and I want it to be mixed sex, like when we're in primary school, so we can have some fun, because we can't get pregnant anymore, so we might as well do something.
Exactly. You've got to learn to live with the other half, so let's have fun.
Why not F if we're all left, huh?
Yeah.
Do you have a Christmas message to hand out to anyone out there, to Australia, basically, of this Christmas, because it's going to be extraordinary, strange Christmas, and just a message of hope, if you can, without bullshit?
Yeah, well, I'm actually extremely lucky. My family have none of this because you're not vaxxed, you can't come sort of thing. So I'm really lucky. We're going to have a good family Christmas, and I wish everybody the same. There's no reason to bar your relatives or friends because of a medical choice. That's just ridiculous. Yeah. So everybody have a Merry Christmas.
Now, you want a free hug? They're going.
A free hug? Oh.
100%.
Thank you. Yeah, same to you.
One more to go, Michael, please.
Bring it in. This is the last one for the bus. This last one. Oh, yeah. We've got to look at it.
Tell me to shut up.
Sit down. Okay, this is our last one. This is our best one.
Yep, best one yet.
Coming close.
Okay.
What's your name?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Okay. Now, how long have you lived in Colac?
25 years.
Oh, so you've lived there all your life?
No, not all my life. No. Oh, aren't you nice? No, I originally grew up in Geelong.
Okay. Okay.
Good old cryo girl.
Okay. And why'd you move to Colac?
Because I love the country. So
So the audience, no,
this way.
yeah.
Oh,
So the audience
okay,
can see your
all
lovely
right,
face.
Okay, all right.
So why'd you move to Colac?
Just because I like the country. I like the open air. I like the small community. It's like a big family, and yeah, so absolutely love it here. And today, unfortunately, I've had to move.
Leave.
Yeah, leave Colac because I'm no longer working. So
What was your job?
I was working at Colac Area Health at the hospital.
You're a nurse.
No, I'm not a nurse. No, I was the cleaner and a porter at the Colac Hospital. So after the first year of COVID, I decided to leave due to the masks. I was the one that was always getting called in, say, Chelsea, put your mask on, put your mask on. So
your mask on, Chelsea.
Yeah, no, so I okay underneath the chin, but yeah, no, I seen a few things at the hospital that didn't make a lot of sense to me, and I would just sit back and observe.
Just bring a bit. This is a little secret I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Nothing makes a lot of sense anymore.
I know, right? I know. So when it first started, I put up a Facebook page, and I done a video, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you wearing masks? Like this is just not making sense, you know. And I just put this big thing up on Facebook, and I was getting backlash from not only just randoms but family as well. And they're like, "What are you doing, Chelsea?" You know. And I honestly, within myself, because I'm spiritual, just felt like I didn't have to do this. And
A mask story. So I was taken to a remote beach today.
and I know who took you there.
Yeah, well, that's secret. So it's a remote beach. That's why my face looks like this.
Yep.
And literally people come down there very rarely. But one woman came down. I was told this recently. I didn't see her. Came down, walked the whole beach. So basically, apart from this other one person, she's the only person on the beach, and she walks up and down it with a mask.
No, well, you see, why?
That's the
Why?
expression.
What do we actually?
This is outside. Do it again.
Why? Why? Like what we're breathing out is crap. Okay, so like we're not supposed to be wearing a mask. So a friend of mine,
Do you know what's worse than that? If you're a guy, if you've got a mask in your car, if you wear a mask for the whole day, when you put the mask on the next day, it smells like your balls.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll take your word on that one. I'm not willing to.
I know it's the same for girls, but I know it's for boys.
Yeah. So I've got a friend, like my new partner. He has a CO2 reader. Yeah. So I asked him to put on a mask and to get the reader and stick it inside the mask. So there's a story that there was a publican who had died and the readings were at 100 because he went down into went down to the B lines where the B, and yeah, he lost oxygen and he died after 4 minutes.
Did you was your CO high?
So when Jai done it, the CO2 reached up to 4,000.
Wow.
So I'm going to be putting on a post on Facebook and showing everybody what you were doing when you wear those masks.
And Facebook's going to put you in Facebook jail as they put all my friends in Facebook jail. Hi, I don't know why they let us out all the time, but you know. Now, can I say, is your partner lost his job as well?
No, he hasn't. No.
But he's leaving as with you, or you're separating?
No. So I've just recently met Jai. I've just recently we've known each other for a few years, but just recently got together, and he invited me to go stay with him. So I'm like, okay, because he so supports me, and he's had the job, but he so supports me in not getting it. Yeah, he's here tonight.
Oh, he's watching.
Right there.
All I can see is a phone.
Yeah.
All I can see. Come closer, Jai.
He doesn't want to go.
Come closer. There he is. Let's stay there. That's fine. I'm just going to tell you, he's incredibly tall. He's incredibly handsome. Okay, so you're missing out. She's got him.
Yeah, I'm taken. No.
You're taken.
Yeah, so
Christmas, Jai.
I actually was also a disability support worker. So yeah. So I've had to leave that job, which I absolutely loved, and I did have an exemption, which they accepted for a few weeks.
You know the extraordinary thing about caring jobs, because we had nursing home workers here.
Yeah.
Is you don't do that job for the money, because the money's
No.
crap, and you don't do it for the conditions, because the conditions are crap. You do it for working with people, because you're a people person, and there's a joy. And working with disabled is different from nursing homes, because the disabled people can literally repair you, because they're so grateful that you're helping them, and you're just like an extra limb for them. It's a joyous job. It's the most joyous job I've ever had.
Certainly is. It certainly is. So yeah.
But a lot of people can't do it. So when they find someone who loves doing it, it's a gift to our whole society. They've been cared for. And so to get rid of people who care for the disabled and not let them do it because they care for their own body is I find it just abhorrent.
It is, definitely is. So yeah, it's been heartbreaking. Like I've been brought to tears because of it, because like you just become so close to them, and to have to leave something that you absolutely love, and also a town which I choose to live in. It's amazing. I love being able to walk down the street and say g'day to half the town, because we're like a little family.
And you can't stay because you don't have a job.
Yeah.
So if there's anyone out there with a job going, so
I
she
got
can
many
stay in Colac,
talents, many skills. That's right.
loves Colac, wants to stay, asset to the town, has this big handsome boyfriend here that can pop out a few babies. Who knows? That could be the future of the town sitting right here.
That's exactly what he wants. Get me into trouble.
Psychic.
Yeah, I know,
Psychic.
right?
See,
I
it's
know.
the sunburn. It makes me in tune
Yeah,
with
of
people.
course,
Now
yes.
there's but that's how it is. No, jokes aside, this is it. The town's losing a caring, hardworking person. It's nonsense.
It is.
It's
It is,
nonsense.
it is.
And it's un-Australian.
Of course it is.
You know?
I don't. Yeah. I don't.
You can go there.
Oh no.
You can go there. You're the last thing.
No,
Go there, baby.
I try to breathe it out and just like stay calm.
No, don't stay calm. Breathe it
Stay
out.
calm.
Knock it home. Tell them how you feel. Tell them how ridiculous it is.
It is utterly ridiculous. It's just, I can't even put it into words sometimes of how I feel, because I've just got to, when I start, I just can't stop. So yeah, it's just, no. It's happening, it's happening everywhere. So it's just, yeah, my family are just like, my mum says, Chelsea, what are you doing? You're just cutting your nose off to spite your face. And I'm like, I'm just doing something that I believe in. So, I mean, they still accept me. They haven't turned their backs on me, but
Good on you.
Yeah, my daughter, she's just saying, like, Mum, what are you doing? You're being silly. Just go get the jab and, keep your job. And I'm like, sweetheart, I can't do it. Yeah, I said, sweetheart, I can't do that.
Yeah, how about you go get fucked?
So now
How about you go get fucked telling us to go get the jab? I'm sorry, I'm over it. Go get fucked. Yeah, go get fucked.
Fuck the jab.
Fuck the jab. Go get fucked. My personal choice, my body. It's a completely selfish choice. I don't like being bullied. I don't like being bullied, so I'm not going to fucking take it ever unless you tie me down in Mickleham and shove it up my ass. That's the truth.
Well said.
Now, do you have a
Round of
Christmas
applause.
message for and good luck getting Damo to take it. Do you have a Christmas message to Australians, because they need to hear one? Try.
Yeah, stay strong, people. Yeah, we've got the power. We've got to just stay strong.
Do it again. Do it to everyone. How do we heal our country? Now, we're trying to do it with hugs, because they're trying to divide us with fear. So every time people hug, there's no fear here, be every time we hug, we show that there's nothing to be frightened of.
I know.
And we heal the divide one hug at a time. Oh, wow. See, look. You still alive? You feeling okay?
Oh,
Look, no
I think
fever,
so.
nothing.
No.
She survived.
Shock horror.
Shock horror. Now, that's one way we can do it. But what we need is courage.
Yeah.
And the L word.
exactly. Yeah.
Say the, that's a hint. You got to say the L word.
We've got to be the leaders.
No. You can say it
What?
again. I'm going to say. I say courage. You got to say the L word. What is the L? Yell it out.
Love.
The resistance Smurf leader just yelled it out.
Love.
Oh, actually, you know, upside down. That's upside down. That's the Freemason sign. Isn't that funny?
No.
No, but that's right. We need love. We need decency. We need tolerance. We're Australians. We're better than this. We're a strong race. The reason asylum seekers have always come to Australia is because we're a beautiful race. We're a good race, the majority of us. That's what we've got to get back to. And to do it, we just need to have some courage and listen to the teachings that we grow up with.
We are all one. We are all one. So yeah,
One. See that?
We are all one. Yeah.
Yep, we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are. So we say the first bit of the Australian national anthem, just the thing. Just say it out together. Come in close. So Australia. No, that's the song.
The
the
that
national
is
anthem.
Too. The national anthem. No.
Australians all let us rejoice because we are
young
one.
and
No, they changed
free.
it. They changed it.
What?
They changed it.
Oh.
They changed
I don't
it.
know the anthem
They
these days.
Australians
I
all
don't
let
listen
us
to the
rejoice,
news.
for we are one and free. Okay? It's in other words, bullshit. You know, so that's what we got to get back to. We got to get back to being one, and we got to get back to being free. And to be free means we have to be allowed to make our choice, because freedom is the absolute foundation of our freedoms is the ability to have a choice. And they are taking that choice away. So that's why we're not taking the jab. Someone has to defend freedom of choice. My body, my choice. I'll say what goes into it, not you. Okay?
Well said, brother. Well said.
And with that, we're going to wrap up Colac. And before this truck hits us,
Love you all.
this is going to be my last free hug.
Love you all.
You ready?
Okay.
Thank you. Good night, Australia. See you tomorrow. I think I'm still on. I hit the wrong button. What did you want to say?
Okay, to Dan Andrews, double park these. Where am I at? That way. Double park these.
Double park these. Double park these, Dan.